Oh, let's not do that. That's much better. Much better. Okay, so suck. Comics for Blame, aka Trey, back at you with another box. Love me some boxes. I got this, and I also have a few more just to throw. Man, I need to get these out the boxes anyway, so let's knock it all out in one go, huh? Okay, so let's see what I got. I mean, if you haven't guessed, you know I'm a fan of this is original art. I'm a huge fan of two characters in particular, the Punisher and of course Daredevil. You see my shirt? So this was a purchase that I got from GA Collectibles. I found the piece of art. It's been on eBay for quite a while now. They had it. The price was pretty steep, so it's just been sitting there stagnant. They finally dropped the price, and so I on eBay they offered a discount. So I messaged them and told them, "Hey, well, if I buy it directly from y'all, what kind of a price do I get then?" And so they gave me a price that I figured was very fair for what this is. A little apprehensive because this piece of art has a flaw that I typically it scare me away usually, you know. But I mean, this is something somewhat pricey. Ooh. That is not cool. Okay, it looks like it's all right. It is not. It's very loosely in here. Well, anyways, killing the surprise already. As you know, in my title on this video, I say unboxing art from Seminal Run. That Seminal Run is a storyline called Guardian Devil by Kevin Smith, Joe Quesada, Jimmy Palmiotti. And that was Guardian Devil is the first 8 issues of Daredevil Volume 2, right? It is the launch of Marvel Knights, which was a big deal in Marvel was bankrupt at the time. You know, this is 1999, 98. Marvel was bankrupt at the time. They ended up selling off licenses to a lot of the characters, which is how we ended up with these Spider-Man movies and whatnot. And Joe Quesada, he got together a bunch of creators, and they rebooted a lot of these series. This was like basically the first time Marvel rebooted a lot of their comics. Daredevil being pretty much the flagship title of Marvel Knights, and it was incredibly successful. You know, which at the time you're talking. By that time, the internet had started taking over. Printed media was going downhill. You know. Let's check this out while I go on a rant about it. Oh, check that out. Included a comic here in the bag. That's cool. Oh, yeah. Smoky. This is issue 6. This is where Daredevil finally. This is the part of the story where you finally get the just before this is the villain reveal. In this story, it was oh, how do I say it? It was a secret. You know, the villain was you had no idea who it was up until this point, and it's revealed that it is Mysterio, which is, you know, that's all the smoke and mirrors and whatnot. That's Mysterio's hand, and let's see. Oh, this panel right here. This controls was an elderly version of Mysterio in this story. He was an old gray-haired man who was just basically screwing with Daredevil because he could never get one over on Spider-Man. He said, "Oh, I'm going to pick on the weaker guy," and of course, that didn't turn out too well for the dude. Wow. Joe Quesada, Jimmy Palmiotti. I've been wanting a page from the story, and they're not cheap. They don't come up too often, and every time they do, it's usually on auction at Comic Link or Heritage. And every time one pops up, the price goes up that much more. Anyways, the flaw on this page, I can't see it at all on the front. They said that it was only really visible from the back. It's a stain. I see it on the back. It looks like I guess just a water stain. Let's see if you can see that. That was really what discouraged me for the longest time. I had this on my eBay watching list, and I just could not bring myself to pull the trigger because, I mean, I'm just that anal, you know. I mean, I know it's a one of a kind. It's not like I can get a different version of this. It doesn't have the same. This is the only one. It's one of a kind. So, oh yeah, like it. I like that. Check out that bottom panel. I love how shadowy Quesada always draws Daredevil. But you got here's the comic that this page is from. It's issue 6, it's page 21. He always, I mean, not always, but I mean, he would typically draw Daredevil in this way. You know, he would just his face covered in shadow. You know. Let's see. Also, this page was supposed to include some a photocopy, which it said was the photocopy was written on by the back. It says by the artist. Now, I don't know if that means Palmiotti or Quesada. I couldn't tell you whose handwriting this is, but it is a photocopy that is pretty much their roster for a Daredevil movie. This is pre the Ben Affleck movie, you know. This guy picked Matt Damon. Who else we got? Foggy, Oliver Platt, I'm not sure that is. And Bancroft is Maggie. Alec Baldwin is Bullseye. Really? Mysterio, Spacey. Yeah, it's a little controversial these days. Kingpin, De Niro. Oh, come on, bro. He ain't big enough for all that. Natasha, Angelina Jolie. Oh, I could go for that. Right on. Turk, Chris Rock. Check that out. Just a photocopy that came with it. Something, you know, little something extra. That all the description. I mean, all this dream casting done by the artist. I'm not sure. Quesada, Palmiotti. Maybe the both of them sat down and had a conversation about this. Who knows? All right. Moving on. Spent enough time on that. You know what? No, we didn't. How cool is that, man? That's Joe Quesada, Jimmy Pond, and Miotti, freaking Daredevil. Yeah, I'm proud of that one. Oh yeah. Alrighty. Let's open some comic boxes while we're at it. Okay. First of all, this is a single comic. This is an eBay purchase. Where is the tab? There you are. Oh Lord. Let's just. Careful. Good. Keeping in theme with the Daredevil thing. Oh man, I love that story. By the way, the Guardian Devil story that started out Daredevil Volume 2. It a lot of people would say that it was like Marvel Knights was basically a salvation to Marvel Comics at the time. Let's see the condition. Oh man, they put a bag and board on both sides. Not bad. Not a bad technique of shipping. Oh, look at that. Looks like several boards in there. I will allow it. Okay. Oh, that's very nice. Very nice. Just looking at the front cover alone, you go off of the grade that they give you on eBay, but you still, I always inspect closely. I look at it, and a lot of times, you'll come across deals where they graded this a fine, and just looking at the front cover right off the bat, like I'm telling you right now, that's at least a VF. I guarantee you send just, I'd have to look through it and see why they gave it a fine. I believe the back color had a bit of tanning, but that CGC does not nail the comic Silver Age comics for tanning like you could think they would. I'm always surprised by it, honestly, what you can get away with as far as tanning goes. Let's see. Let's look at this cover a little bit more closely. That looks really good. That is nice and flat. Oh, that is really beautiful coffee, honestly. Yeah, see, it's a little bit of tanning. I could show you examples I have in my collection of like 9.0s that have worse tanning than this book does. That's not too bad at all. Got a little smudge on the back there, like fingerprint type deal. I'm not sure. It's just probably a scuff. Oh yeah, that is. I love it when a seller um, undergrades. I seller after my own heart. I don't sell much on eBay, but here and there, I end up doing a little clearinghouse thing on my collection. Make room for different comics, and I tend to do the same thing. If it's questionable to me, like if I'm like, okay, this is fine, very fine, then there's no question, just call it fine. You'd rather have a satisfied customer than to try to squeeze in a couple of extra bucks out of an auction or whatnot. So very happy with that one. Okay, moving along. Now this, I have something to say about. Okay. I have a monthly comic book subscription service from a very popular service called Discount Comic Book Service. Okay, I've been with these guys. I've been ordering with them since used to be a company called Mail Order Comics. Well, I don't know. We were talking a long time ago, like 15 years ago or something like that. It was Mail Order Comics. And Discount Comic Book Service bought them out years back. And I left the hobby, came back, and I continued to order from them. And I was very happy with this packaging. This box only has like, I think it had like 6-7 comics in here. And, their packaging is like above and beyond. And always the quality of the condition of the comics that you received is great. I live in a major city, so I have plenty of LCSs around me, and I do, pop into those places from time to time. But whenever I started using this service, I lived in a small town where there was no LCS. The closest LCS was over an hour drive away, and I've just stuck with them since then. I realized I could get a pull list somewhere, but I'm out of town half the time. Nobody's here to pick up my comic books for me. So, I realized I could have them hold them for me, but I know. Support your LCS. Man, if you ask me, anything you're doing to support the comic book industry is what counts, because we're talking about printed media, man. This stuff is it's tough, it's a dying medium. You have to realize that everything has gone digital. People just do not, especially you're talking about periodical, newspapers, magazines. Those, like, they used to, fly off the shelves. And these days, that is not the case at all. The only thing that keeps comic books going is us collectors, really. They grew up. Comics will be around probably indefinitely, but in the periodical, monthly, weekly, however format, I don't know that that'll always be the case. I do definitely think someday we will end up seeing most comics published in trades. But, as long as we're still getting to read them, as long as we're still getting these amazing stories, then whatever. Now that's kind of annoying. This one got bagged. It's the back cover. They put the board on the wrong side. The bag is correct, but but this is a a variant. They had these variants on sale. I needed, didn't need it, but I wanted this one for my Daredevil run. Check it out. Speaking of Casada Palmiotti Daredevil, there's a Daredevil #1 hidden gem. This one's supposed to be a 1 in 250 retailer incentive variant. So, in other words, for every 250 Daredevil #1s produced, one of them was this. Supposedly, there's a little bit of controversy about that lately, but I mean, I don't know. Man, I'll tell you, I noticed certain sellers on eBay that they'll put them up one at a time, but these guys have several copies of 1 in 1000s of more recent 1 in 500s. Like they'll sell one, and then a couple of months later, they'll put another one up for auction, and then a couple of months later, they'll put another one up for auction. It's like, how did these guys end up with all these? I'm going to guess that they somehow they're involved with Diamond. They work for Diamond or something, and I'm gonna give Marvel the benefit of the doubt and say that okay, there is one of these for every 250, right? And so let's say the local stores here, there's maybe one store in town that would have ordered 250 copies of this book. I seriously doubt they would have ordered the 500 for the 1 in 500 virgin variant of this cover. And I mean, how many stores of all the stores, all the LCSs out there, how many stores would order 250 of this or, the next or whatever? So if that's the case, then the only people that are going to get the 250, 1 in 250s and higher ratios than that is going to be the extremely large retailers. Your My Comic Shop, which is also a Lone Star Comics. It's a huge one in New York that a lot of people have a subscription service with. I can't think of the name of it off the top of my head. But, retailers like that are going to get these variants. And the little LCSs here and there, they're not going to get them. And so then that means that there's going to be an overstock of these issues. And what do you think? You think that these guys are going to just destroy them all? Probably not. Probably, I'm going to guess that somebody that works, Diamond, Marvel, or whatever, sneaks these out and, slips them off one at a time into the market, One of the perks of how else are they coming up with them? That's the only thing I can figure. Okay. Conan 23. Thor 15. Man, I've really been enjoying Donny Cates' Thor. Venom was good. His Thor, I was disappointed when Jason Aaron was leaving. I was like, oh man, Cates is great, but Aaron's run on Thor was just amazing. And Cates has carried it on. He's definitely been a huge surprise to me on Daredevil. Valkyries, because talking about Aaron, talking about Thor. It's a really cool cover. Oh yeah, my favorite. You know, let's do that. Okay. Mortal Hulk. More Immortal Hulk. This was last month's box. Now, as I was going on about how well they packaged the books for all this time, I mean, look at this. I didn't show you all how to pull it out, but like, let me show you. Like they use, there's like, I don't know what the heck they get this stuff, but it forms. They make a little brick out of the books with a bag and whatnot, and they put this chrome stuff that forms around the books and protects the corners. Also got my previews in here. Got to get your previews in. Do you see previews? Marvel previews. I'm curious about that one, and I ordered. I'm gonna continue to check that out. Venom. Just, I don't know. I've never read anything yet by Ram V, and so why not? And Al Ewing, I've really enjoyed Immortal Hulk, and there's been other stories that he wrote that I was really into. So let's give it a go. Let's do it. Brian Hitch, of course. Well, you know. I'm, as a matter of fact, I'm reading right now digitally on DC Infinite. Story I've never read that I've heard so many good things about. The Authority. I've read through the first 2 story arcs so far, the first 8 issues. Pretty good so far. Pretty good. It hasn't blown my mind yet, but it has not disappointed me neither. Now this is the first time in years, Discount Comic Book Service, they sent this stuff in like a Gemini type mailer. It's been the other, they're packaging with the other boxes forever. And I'm going to, assume that this is to do with the rising costs of shipping, which unfortunately, this costs me the same shipping as this. Like, what the heck? Whatever. I'm sure it saves them a few bucks though, so whatever. As long as the comics still arrive in the same state, I will not complain too much, huh? I've never had one of my comics show up damaged from them, except for one of those oversized DC Black Label books, because the way they packaged it in there, they weren't used to packaging those, and they just like stacked it in there with the previews, no bagger board, and it got one I got pretty dinged up, and I messaged them about it. They sent me another one, made it right, so very happy with them. Oh, look at this! This I got my free comic book day books out of the box. I've never bought a Vampirilla book in my life. You get, I think it's like 4 comics for free comic book day comics. And so I was like, okay, that one. Okay. Oh, yeah. Number 33. We ain't got a lecture on this cover. What's going on? Speaking of Thor again. Once in Future. Conan. I've discontinued my subscription to Conan because I haven't read it. I started ordering Conan because of Aaron. Aaron was right. He wrote the first 12 issues. I have not read a single one of these Gems of issues yet. I'm gonna read them eventually, digitally. But I will read through this story and check it out. But I don't know. I just wanted to. I'm always, I feel like my boxes look. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, this box only has 4 comics that I regularly subscribe to, and 3 of them are the free comic book day books. So I feel like I need to add more titles to my box to make it worth paying the fixed amount of shipping. And I can never make up my mind on what I want those other titles to be. Anyways, enough ranting, enough blah 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 blah. That's all I got for y'all. Like, subscribe, whatever. One more time. Where are you? This is what we all came to see. Oh yeah. Right on. So yeah, I have previous videos where I show off unboxing with some original art if you're into that kind of thing, or even if you're not, good to go, man. Check it out. If you enjoy comic books, then check out some art. Ladies, y'all, shut it down.